And we are live. So, welcome to the second stream of the day. I am the American Werewolf, and tomorrow, Netflix is dropping Extraction 2 with the always fun, most of the time he's fun, Chris Hemsworth, who I am a fan of. From the MCU, Thor has fallen off, but I'm still a Hemsworth fan. And I remember those first movies, directed by Kenneth Branagh, getting us all the way to Infinity War, where he was like Ultimate Thor. And, so far, not so good after that. However, in 2020, he had a series or a Netflix movie drop called Extraction, which I knew nothing about. And I think it dropped in the middle of the lockdowns, and it was just this phenomenal film. Great action, directed by Sam Hargrave, and his first time in the director's chair. And I thought because Extraction 2 drops tomorrow, and I'm going to cover that tomorrow in a spoiler-free review, I would take a few minutes to talk about the first Extraction, which I just had a chance to watch again for the first time in about 3 years. I just finished watching it before I came on. And I have to tell you, I forgot how much fun that movie is, to coin a phrase by Eric. Hold on a second, we got a comment here. Hey, and it's Eric. All right, so he says, I've never heard of this, but I'm also a Hemsworth fan. Apparently, he's training to play Hogan. Yeah, I know about the Hogan movie. I don't know what's happening with that. Now we've got a writer's strike, and then I heard there's going to be an actor's strike soon. So who knows how long these delays are going to, jam things up, and, what movies are also going to be shelved because of it. So I guess we'll see. But my understanding is within the next 2 weeks, there's also going to be an actor's strike. So, yeah, who can say what's going to happen? But this movie is available on Netflix right now. If you have Netflix and you haven't seen it, watch it. Phenomenal movie. It basically is set in India, of all places. It starts off in Mumbai, and the teenage son of a drug lord who is imprisoned has been kidnapped by a rival drug lord in Dhaka, which is Bangladesh, an entire other country. And he is pulled into Bangladesh, not for ransom, I think just to humiliate the one boss, and probably eventually I thought initially it was to kill the kid, but it is about business, and so they want money. The boss really doesn't have that much money considering he's in prison, so he sends the boy's bodyguard out on a mission to try to rescue him. And what the bodyguard does is essentially he reaches out and finds Chris Hemsworth, who is a commando by the name of Tyler Rake. And from there, it's just kind of on. Tyler Rake, he's, this guy, he's a bit broken by life. He's lost his son. His wife has left him. It's kind of a cliched story. He's held together by booze and pills, and, he's got that kind of 1,000-yard stare going all the time. But his plan is to basically steal the boy back. So he goes into Dhaka with a bit of a team, and within 15 minutes, it's just nonstop action. This is a 2-hour movie, and I'd say for a good hour and 45 minutes, it's just one long action scene. You've got first-rate fight scenes on par with the John Wick franchise. You've got knives, you've got guns, you've got hand-to-hand combat, you've got car chases. It's a little bizarre in the sense that you've also got, because, well, I would say you're in another part of the world, but if you watch a show like The Wire, you're going to see this too. You've got a lot of child actors, child actors that are actually playing soldiers in the street. Minions sort of this Bangladeshi drug lord. So you actually see some scenes where Hemsworth actually has to go at it with children that are trying to kill him. Eventually, what happens is the drug lord closes off every gate out of the city. And from then, it's kind of on. The extraction is compromised by a double cross by the kid's original bodyguard. And it is just bottlenecking on the action. It is just a fantastic film to watch. This easily could have been one of those Steven Seagal type movies, if you know what I'm talking about. Just a ridiculous movie, from the late 80s or early 90s with Van Damme or Seagal or Jason Statham, or something. I do not consider Jason Statham a serious actor or a serious action actor. I know he's part of the Expendables, but I never got it. I don't get it, what people see in him. I loved him in that Guy Ritchie movie, Snatch. But then, that was more comedic than action. And he has a great talent for comedy. When I started to see him in movies like The Transporter, I specifically remember standing up in the movie and saying, this movie sucks. In which, a bunch of people in the movie told me to sit down and shut up. But, this could have been one of those, just one of those silly, idiotic sort of action movies. Because it has someone like Hemsworth, it reminds me a bit of Liam Neeson in Taken, which again could have been one of those idiotic action movies that just, have the good guy just kicking everybody's ass, so on and so forth. But the fact that Liam Neeson was in it added a level of gravitas to the film. It's the same thing here. Hemsworth projects a certain amount of seriousness. This is a grounded, gritty movie. And it just works 100%. Complete fun. Just coming in at over 2 hours. There's nothing to complain. There's no fat on the script. Everything in here is absolutely necessary. I can't find a thing to complain about it. Even the always fun David Harbour makes an appearance here. He's great to watch. He's in it for about 15 minutes. So, you've got some decent stars in here. The ending kind of comes to a close as Hemsworth's character, Tyler Rake, tries to draw fire from the army, from the police, and everybody that's on this corrupt drug lord's payroll so the kid can run in the other direction and escape. Extraction, probably, I'm not going to go through the usual rating system, but in terms of the, I'd rather do this than watch that sort of thing. But yeah, I'd probably give it four. I'd give it 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. It's upper. It almost creeps into cinema. Not really, but the level of entertainment is so high that it's just fantastic. It's in the way that you would consider a John Wick movie to be 4 or 4.5 stars out of 5, especially the last one, John Wick 4, just a great film. This is in that same tradition. So if you haven't seen Extraction, and I talked to a lot of people who didn't even know that Extraction 2 was being made, let alone dropping tomorrow, get on Netflix, watch Extraction. Fantastic film. Chris Hemsworth, David Harbour, a couple of other actors whose names I can't remember, are difficult to pronounce, but it's just fun all the way through. Tomorrow, Extraction 2 drops on Netflix. Tomorrow at this time, I'm going to be offering a spoiler-free review for Extraction 2. So dial in for that. And I can't wait for it. I honestly can't wait. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen the trailer. It looks really solid. Okay, that's kind of it for my review. I'm not going to go through a long procedural. I just praise the hell out of this movie and hope that you'll take my suggestion if you haven't seen it and watch it. If you have seen it before, watch it again, because it's not a movie that I've watched again, since the first time it dropped. So seeing it after 3 years, just as much fun, just as good as it was the last time. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., Extraction 2, spoiler-free review. But before that, at 10 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about Fede Alvarez and the upcoming Alien flick. What's going on with that? Fede Alvarez, who directed the 2013 Evil Dead, which completely reinvigorated that franchise away from horror comedy into something very serious, is now going to be directing an Alien film. We're going to see if it is completed in terms of its production, because now with the strike and possibly another strike coming, the plan is to release it in 2024, I think sometime around August. We're going to see if that's on track. I'm going to be talking about that 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then once again at 8 p.m., Extraction 2, spoiler-free review. I am the American Werewolf, and we'll see you in the next video.